How's it going, guys? My name is DividableHalo HD. Welcome back to another video. Today I am joined by Vast Contagion.
Yo.
So today we're kind of going to be doing a little mini interview about the war between the Commonwealth and Vast. So, Z4 Bros or Vast Contagion, I'll probably call you Z4 Bros for the rest of this video. How did this war all started?
So, to give you a little background on this war, there's not much background, but here's a little background that there is. So, Commonwealth, obviously, as you've seen on DividableHalo's channel, and I think it might have actually been on Halo Clan Follower, that the Commonwealth returned, and it originally started on Reach. And as most of you already know, and most of you already hate me for it, I pretty much criticize every Reach clan that's out there that's on 2016 Reach. I pretty much despise every clan. I feel like the clans should be moving on to Halo 5, and even Shadow Sniper himself agreed that clans should be moving on to the current game, but it was pretty contradictory for him to be on Reach. And I feel like that's where the conflict started the tension between personally myself and Shadow Sniper really began, is when I started to criticize Commonwealth on how they were on Halo Reach. But I don't really feel like it was a big deal about that around that time, but it started to escalate from there. When the Commonwealth moved to Halo 5, they came with a system called the Area System. And as many of you know, there's 4 stages to the Area System: border maps, operations, city, and then the capital. Now, typically, I'd say the minimum amount of maps that you need to have for the Area System is 9. And I publicly criticized the Area System for the sole reason that it was unrealistic to be a community-wide system because of how much effort and how much you have to put into creating the maps and to scripting the maps and making sure that they're fair and balanced and actually functionally work like the actual Area System is meant to do. And actually, the Commonwealth don't even have the sufficient maps for the Area System. They only have border maps, operations, which, by the way, half of the operation maps are broken. City maps don't even have them completed. Capital doesn't even have it completed. So really, the reason why I was criticizing the Area System was because you're basically coming into the community, and for the Area System to work for every clan, you have to have the sufficient maps to work for it.
All right,
and it's basically...
Sorry, could I just interrupt you here?
Yeah.
Where exactly did you hear that they don't have the maps completed?
From not only Shadow Sniper himself, which I can definitely, if you would like, anybody that's watching, I can definitely give you A, video evidence, and B, textual evidence from pretty much a large majority of TCW officers, including Preventer, Commando Priest, Zig. All 3 of these people at some time have confirmed that either they didn't have city maps, or that they were halfway done with the city map, or that they didn't have the capital or whatnot, including a recent conversation with Commonwealth members. But there's multiple sources within the Commonwealth that have confirmed that there are no city maps that are done. The capital hasn't even been started yet, and that operations are broken. Also from people who have defected, such as ex-MPL Ironside, which I do agree that his word is kind of shaky, but there's been countless sources that I have that I can easily provide to anybody that asks that the Area System is not even complete from the Commonwealth's part.
All right, so you want to kind of just continue where you were at before I interrupted you?
Yeah, you're good. So basically, at the end of the day, I was criticizing the Area System, and Shadow Sniper didn't like it. So I was in school one day, right, and then I just get my notification, and I was like, oh, hey, some clan, Commonwealth, just uploaded a video. And I was like, I guess I'll watch that later today. And then I get my notification, one notification, another notification, and then I find out Commonwealth declared war on Vast. So I get home, watch the video, find out that they declared war on Vast because apparently Vast had plans to destroy the Commonwealth. Which, by the way, is completely false. Completely and utterly not true. Vast has absolutely no intentions, absolutely has no plans to destroy any clan in the community at all before this war had started. We were primarily focused on building Vast internal structure, building leadership, and creating Vast to become a prosperous clan. We weren't even focused about getting involved in alliances, wars whatsoever. And the fact that Commonwealth tries to claim that they had proof that we had plans to destroy the Commonwealth is complete bullshit. They don't have any proof. You ask them for it, they won't give it to you. You want to know why? Because there is no proof. So the real reason why they declared war on Vast, and there's a little bit of speculation in here, but there's a little bit of actual evidence. The first part that's actually evidence is that according to MPL Ironside, the reason why Shadow Sniper declared war, or the TCW declared war on Vast, was because I was talking rubbish to Shadow Sniper. Those are the exact words of Ironside, who is, by the way, at the time that he said this, he was the commander for the Special Forces in the Commonwealth, excuse me. And I can even play it if you'd like me to later in the video when I have the videos pulled up. But he does admit that Shadow Sniper declared war on Vast, not because of spies or plans to destroy the Commonwealth, which are completely untrue. The fact that we were talking rubbish to the area system and talking rubbish to the Commonwealth as a clan, basically talking shit. And that's the true intentions of the Commonwealth. But here's where the little speculation comes in here, right? So I personally believe that Shadow Sniper didn't declare war just because I was talking shit. I feel like it's a little bit of it, but I feel like Shadow Sniper in the Commonwealth had such a legend state of mind where they were so fed up with, all of this stuff. Of course, Shadow Sniper and JB, they're huge in the community. They are huge contributors to creating the community as it is right now, but they're so stuck up. They really do think of themselves as gods, living legends walking down the streets, and that's a bad state of mind. And they came into the Halo 5 community as if they owned the place, and they felt like, you know what, we need quick publicity. Let's target the clan that probably has one of the biggest medias, if not the biggest media in the community, that has some of the biggest community outspreads, and that pretty much a lot of clans already know. I mean, look at Vast. We have already so many people that are relatively popular in the community, including you, DividableHalo, myself, Vanguard Archon, and other people like Majestic, just clan leaders after clan leaders after clan leaders, Justice Chaos, Bushy Tails, even Sergeant Rorschach now. So many big names in the community that are actually in this clan. So they decided to target us so that they can get their area system and then get their name out very quickly, and to spread the ideas of the Commonwealth. What they didn't expect, though, they came into with such a legend mortality that they thought that they could just steamroll Vast as if it was nothing. They thought that we were just these new community kids who didn't know what we were doing, that we were unprepared, that we wouldn't be expecting this, that we were not going to win a single battle. But it was completely flipped upside down on the Commonwealth. They decided to attack us, and they were completely blindsided. They got shit on every single time that we've done a battle up to this date, the day that it's recorded, Wednesday, June 8th. They've literally won one recorded battle. And you want to know what recorded battle they've won? That's right, one where we were stuck in a fucking box. That's the only battle that they've won. They've literally had to resort to sticking our members in a box where we have no fighting chance, no combat. That's right. That's how TCW wins. While as Vast wins not only outnumbered 5-11, but outmanned, outgunned, everything. TCW keeps throwing stuff at us, and I think that even the next scheduled raid that we're doing with them is a bridge map. That's right, a bridge map. How classical, with absolutely no cover, by the way. Just letting you know. But yeah, that's my little introduction to the war, and a little bit after that. Sorry, I kind of got off track, but
no problem.
that's pretty much it. Yep.
Yeah, I'd just like to throw in that it was kind of my stupidity that we lost that one battle.
Yeah,
As I went
actually,
in there to
it
kind of
was.
just do some random stuff with like 3 Vast members, and then like we spawned, and there was like a box, and we just left immediately.
Yep,
My
exactly.
stupidity,
Dividable was in there. He was the one that was stuck in the box, and he's like, you know, what's the point? Why are we gonna sit here for 6 hours inside of a fucking box? Like, I'm pretty sure almost everybody would have that kind of mentality.
It's my stupidity, but at the end of the day, Vast still accepted that raid loss.
Yep. And yeah, so what was the next thing that you were gonna ask?
Sorry. So one of the things that happened at the beginning of this war is what a lot of people have noticed in the community is pretty much the war really only stated that you would be doing it on the area system. So in a way, this is pretty much the Commonwealth declaring war on Vast, but you have to fight on their terms and their soil and their game mode. So what went on there exactly?
Yeah, so this kind of ties back into one of the reasons why I was criticizing the area system in the beginning, is that if you take the area system and you declare war on a clan that does not use the area system, this is a huge problematic issue, right? So you have one clan that uses a completely different form of combat than another clan, but still declares war on them. So it's really a one-way street for both sides. The Commonwealth has to attack Vast on raids, while Vast has to attack them on the area system, right? So that's a huge problem, because the area system was invented by the Commonwealth. It's their entire new game type, right? So this kind of brings me into one of the areas of bullshit from the Commonwealth, is the area system and the problems with it and how we're experiencing these firsthand. So the first ROE meeting we had, it was between me and Zig, and I believe Commando Priest was the second one there, and the three people from Vast was myself, Domertron 2, and Vanguard Archon. Those 5 people were in the original meeting. And we agreed that the area system would be where we would have to take one border map, we would have to take 2 operations in a row, we would have to take a city map, and we would have to take the capital. Then, after we steamroll them on Area 5, which was the first area, they're like, nah, you know what, we're going to change it to 2, right? So, you know what, alright, we'll do 2, we agreed to it, shit on them on the second area map. Oh, well, you see, I think we're going to have to change it to 3 area systems now, 3 border maps now. And you're like, you know what? This is bullshit, but we're still going to fucking do it. So the next area is actually tomorrow from when this is filmed. But that's just bullshit at the end of the line. And then right before this interview, actually, Shadow Sniper messages me, and he's like, well, really, the area system was not designed for just a specific number of areas. Actually, it's just however many we have, or however many we make. So I'm like, wait a second. So literally, these guys can just keep adding on maps to the system that we agreed on having a number of mounts 3 different times, and now the 4th time you're telling me that there's not a set number? Like, there's obviously a problem with the area system, and obviously a problem with the Commonwealth and agreeing to things and then going back on their word. But I'm not going to get too far into that. I'm even swaying away from this question. But yeah.
All right. One thing that we've seen in the community chats is people have been saying that pretty much the ROE was in favor of Vast, as it's kind of in a disadvantage towards the Commonwealth. What do you kind of have to say about that? Was it did they agree on this ROE, and what exactly happened there?
So, I guess what would be more smart for me to do is kind of give everyone that's watching here a time frame of the ROE, because right now the ROE is still shaky to this day. And the reason why is it's pretty difficult to negotiate with these Commonwealth guys. All right, so let's take it back to the very beginning. All right, May 2016, on Friday the 13th, that's right, Friday the 13th, Commonwealth declares war on Vast, right? So that very night, or I think it might have been the night after that. No, it definitely was on that Friday. We decided to have the ROE meeting once again, like I said, between Vanguard Archon Domitron to Zig and Commando Priest. Commando Priest and Zig are the officers. Commando Priest was like the commanding officer, I think it was, and Zig is the chief of foreign affairs officer at the time of this meeting. And we obviously agreed to the area system and that we were going to be attacking the area system, and like I said before, the one border, one or two operations, one city, one capital, and that's pretty much what we agreed on then. We also agreed, like Dividable said here, on how to win the war. So at this time, the way that Vast would have won the war is if we either A, destroyed Commonwealth, B, had them surrender, or C, take their capital. However, for the Commonwealth to win, they either had to destroy us or have us surrender, which a lot of people were really upset about this, like Power and Isolasaurus UK, third parties in the war. They were pretty upset about this. They were complaining that, Vats had the advantage in the war because we had 3 ways to win. We had more ways to win, and we had to define victory, which, at the end of the day, like looking back at it, what really is Vast like? For one, these guys agreed to it, but for two, it's the area system. It's a newly invented system. It's a program, and we are fighting them on their home field, on their game type, on their map, something that they've been practicing and creating and formed and founded for months now. And part of their area system is to destroy the capital. So that's a flaw and a disadvantage of a clan with an area system declaring war on a clan that only does raids. So, really, I felt like, of course, it was unfair, but it really shouldn't really be my problem, especially since we agreed that this is how the war was going to be won. I feel like it's not my problem that, the area system is flawed. So, going back a little bit to the terms of winning for Vast, one of the main differences between us and Commonwealth is that the terms of condition for surrendering. So, for the Commonwealth to surrender to Vast, the Commonwealth has to obviously surrender, but the term for that condition of surrender is that every Commonwealth officer has to be publicly executed, and while as Commonwealth's terms of surrender is just surrender. So at any time Vast can just surrender, it would be over. But obviously we're not going to be doing that, and I won't really see Commonwealth. I can't really foresee them doing that for their form of surrender either. But that's definitely the kind of the thing with ROE. So zoom forward a little bit, about halfway before here now. Obviously, like I said, they changed it to the 2, but we still didn't make any amendments to the actual ROE of win condition. But the day before we did the Fort Apocalypse raid, which at this time, ex-MPL Ironside, like I said before, was the SF, or he was the leader of the SF for... he was the leader of the SF for Commonwealth at the time, and he was the one that was going to be the quote-unquote savior, what have you. But we did this, and we actually created an ROE before this raid for raids, because in the original meeting, I tried to put together an ROE for raids because we only had the ROE for area systems complete in the first meeting, because they said Shadow Sniper would be getting the ROE back, like they would be configuring the ROE. This is what they said on the May 13th, the day that we had the meeting. They said that Shadow Sniper would be giving Vast an ROE that they created, and we would make amendments to it, and we would send it back and forth until we could agree on it, and eventually we would finalize it, and that's what we would use for raids. However, what ended up happening was Shadow Sniper never compiled the ROE. So for pretty much the first couple of weeks in the war, I think the first 2 weeks in the war, Vast actually didn't have an ROE for raids. So we didn't have an ROE for raids until June 2nd of 2016 because Shadow Sniper never sent us the ROE. And we finally got in contact with the XMPL Ironside, and we put together a raid for the ROE, and we did the first defensive raid for Vast on June 2nd, 2016 with it was defensive on Fort Apocalypse, and we were able to win and hold it according to the ROE. So today is June 8th. Yesterday, on June 7th, we had our third ROE meeting, right? And in this meeting, we agreed for the final time that there would be 3 area maps, 2 operations in a row, 3 cities, and 1 capital. And we also decided to appeal to the community to make it a little bit more fair for the Commonwealth. We agreed that there would be a win condition for the Commonwealth. We agreed that if the Commonwealth took over 9 of Vast raid maps, successfully taking every 9 of our maps, of our distinctive, maps, they would be able to win the war. So it's fair. So Vast can lose by losing 9 of their raid maps, while Commonwealth has 9 maps in total, which are the 3 areas, 2 operations, 3 cities, and the capital. That's 9 total. So really, it's a fair approach to both of the sides of the war, and that's what we agreed on. We also, on June 7th, we finalized the win conditions, and we agreed that we would be scheduling more battles, and we set who can be scheduling battles, and we really got a lot done. But the thing that we did not get done was the ROE for weapon restrictions and the ROE for raids on the weapon restrictions on the area and the raids for ROE. And the reason because of this is because Zig and Prey were the only ones in the June 7th meeting, and they sent the ROE back to the High Command, back to the TCW High Command to confirm it so that they could send it back to Vast so that we could confirm it. But the reason why they had to do this was because Commonwealth is run off of a High Command system, and Shadow Sniper doesn't have an Xbox, he doesn't have access to an Xbox right now, so they have to run everything through him before it's actually officially completed. But I was never really messaged back the amendments, and we never finalized the weapon restrictions or the ROE for raids or the weapon restrictions for area systems. And we still haven't currently to this interview. We're still in negotiations with that. But we did finalize the win conditions. That's the main thing that we did agree on. But yeah, that's pretty much answered that.
All right. One thing I've just noticed for this past interview so far is pretty much the Commonwealth is unprepared. Like, as you were stating before, there is operations, cities, and there is the capital, which maps pretty much have not been created so far. So until those maps are created, Vast can't actually win the war, while Commonwealth can technically win the war if they take over 9 maps by Vast. So currently, it's kind of in a disadvantage for Vast at the moment, correct?
Correct, because we are actually more prepared for the clan for this war than the clan that actually declared war. So, yep.
All right. One more thing that I was gonna say is I've also noticed a lot of things on Facebook, as many people in the community have noticed as well. Is the Commonwealth have frequently pretty much declined battles during the war declaration. Like, pretty much what I've seen is Vast pushing for battles while the Commonwealth is kind of trying to avoid it. Is there a big reason behind it, or new?
Yeah, so this kind of goes back to the whole preparation of the Commonwealth, and I'm about to read you a direct quote from Shadow Sniper 172 that was literally given to me less than an hour ago on June 8th, 2016. This is a direct quote. Begin quote now. Our clan is barely holding together without me present. You want the truth? We are trying. We are constantly having to retrain troops and replace commanders who lose hope or fail to do their duty. We are motivated to fight you to whatever end. It's a matter of having enough of our guys online and making sure that they're ready. I know we declared war on you, and it sucks, but this is a game. We are doing what we can." End quote. This is a direct quote from the leader of the Commonwealth, and this is proof that the Commonwealth is not ready for this war. They're not prepared, and scheduling with the Commonwealth is a pain in the ass. Every single Friday for the past 2 weeks, I've sent the Commonwealth a weekly schedule of when Vast will be available, and in this schedule, this is the times of the day we are completely 100% available. If the Commonwealth would like to do a raid that's on that day that's not within the availability, they can easily propose it to us, and that's a 50-50. However, they have not once proposed an idea or really even tried to schedule with us. Since the war has begun, which was nearly a month ago, 5 days less than a month ago, they have scheduled one actual event with us. One. Every single other event has been either a surprise raid or hosted by an officer, which was XMPL Ironside, who is now kicked out of the clan. But that was the Fort Apocalypse raid, which I really don't even count Commonwealth as scheduling that, because it wasn't Commonwealth, it was Ironside that scheduled it, who's no longer in the clan. So really, with the remaining officers left in Commonwealth, they've scheduled one raid with us the past nearly month. And that is absolutely pathetic. I've been pushing, like, you can ask even the Commonwealth guys, they're pretty annoyed about it. But I'm pushing as hard as I can to try to get battles. And you don't know why? Because really, I'm not really too concerned about Vast losing, to be honest with you. If we lose a battle, it's whatever. But clearly these guys are definitely scared of losing, because they can see the end. They can see the light. They can see a steamrolling past their border maps. And really, that's why they've had to add these maps. And just more of their unpreparedness is the fact that they don't have any city maps. They don't have a capital. They don't even have... They have half of the operations broken. What is that? 6 out of the 9 agreed maps are either unfinished, broken, or haven't even been started. That is downright pathetic and unpreparedness from the Commonwealth. No clan, really. It's just, I feel like it does definitely affect scheduling, because, I mean, once again, not only are they scared to lose, but really, they can't afford to it because they don't have the maps needed. If we do beat them on this border map tomorrow, and if we do beat them on the next operation, we're going to be at a dead end. They won't have any more maps to complete or for us to go through. We're pretty much stuck. While as Commonwealth, let's just say that they take all of our forts, because we are prepared. Let's just say that they do. Well, there isn't a situation where we don't have the map, so we can't do it. While as that's the situation with the area system. So, yeah, that's just scheduling. I feel like it's so difficult to schedule with the Commonwealth, and they very rarely want to do events, yet they definitely do have enough members. I look at their daily lobbies. They have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16-man lobbies training on area systems, fighting against other clans, fighting against SDF, trying to schedule matches with FS, trying to schedule matches with all these other clans, but yet they still have trouble scheduling against Fast, which is clear. They are definitely capable. They're definitely capable of doing these raids. But are they scared? Yes, they are definitely scared. So that's just my 2 cents on scheduling.
All right. One thing that you've been criticized for is pretty much you're the only sole person that is able to actually schedule raids in Vast. And recently, it's also been the Commonwealth have been criticized for pretty much the clan can't survive without Shadow Sniper. So, what is kind of your opinion on, or what do you have to kind of say about like pretty much Vast only being able to conduct raids with you there or operations with you there?
Yeah, so it's really about preference and effectivity. So if you compare Vast to Commonwealth, Vast will easily be able to effectively schedule raids in comparison to the Commonwealth because the Commonwealth has a high command. They have a council that's in charge of the Commonwealth. While as Vast, it's one person, that's me, the commander in chief. I'm in charge of scheduling everything with Vast, so that way there's no bullshit. The problem with having so many different people to contact and so many different councils that you have to go through and votes and so many different foreign affair officers or whatever bullshit they want to pull is the fact that VAS can actually give an answer effectively and on time. Like, decisions can be made on the spot, whereas it takes the Commonwealth days, it takes them hours, it takes them forever to make decisions or forever to schedule battles. And they continue to criticize Fast about how we cannot conduct raids without me being there. But in reality, Vast is more than capable of doing raids without me being there. I just need to schedule the battle. I don't need to be in the battle. I need to schedule the battle, and I'm more than capable of scheduling the battle. And I don't know why they continue to criticize and say that my clan can't operate without me being there, but clearly, look at the state of the Commonwealth. It is in despair. They are struggling to stay alive without Shadow Sniper actual physical presence and not behind a kick screen. They're struggling. And you have people like JB and people in the Commonwealth that are like, oh, well, we just have to survive until Shadow Sniper can come back. And, Shadow Sniper is such a legend figure. He's the best leader in the community. He's definitely the best ever in combat. He's never going to lose a battle, All these built up, but in reality, they're criticizing me for being in battles, yet they say so many good things about Shadow Sniper, so why, it's just so hypocritical that they're going to say that they're losing battles because Shadow Sniper's not there, but then criticizing for me being there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so hypocritical of them. It really is.
Now, as you were stating before, the Vast clan has pretty much a lot of prominent leaders and figures, and a lot of people that can conduct raids. As you said before, it's just that you want to kind of be there and kind of just schedule it, right?
Yeah, correct.
I believe the Commonwealth also does have a few veterans and figures as well. So I'm just a bit confused. Do they only have like one person that's able to schedule battles officially, or do you have to contact multiple people?
Yeah, right. So contacting people is, oh my gosh. So at the beginning of the war, I think there was like a couple people I could contact. I think it was like Commando Priest, Zig. Like, it's very complicated and it changes almost every day with the Commonwealth. But their positions in the clan kind of dictate what they can do. So, like, every officer in the Commonwealth can host a raid, but not every officer in the Commonwealth can host a raid against Vast. So, to schedule a raid, that's right, schedule a date for a raid, I have to contact one guy who then sends me to another guy and be like, and then he's like, okay, go schedule with him. It's always a circle. Like, I always have to either go to talk to Zig, and then Zig tells me to go talk to Priest, so I go talk to Priest, and then Priest's like, nah, go talk to Prey, so I go talk to Prey, and then he tells me to go back to Zig. They just put me in these circles, and it's really, really pathetic how many different times I've been told to go talk to another person because, the positions have changed, or now Prey is the chief foreign affairs officer, and now Zig is, and back to Prey, back to Zig. So it's really difficult, and I almost ask every day who's capable of actually scheduling and hosting raids, and it changes frequently. It changes between the officer. Like, one day it was Ironside, and then he lost the raid, and like he was pretty much kicked out of the clan. So it's such, they're so disorganized when it comes to leadership and scheduling. It's insane.
All All right. Now in the Kick chat, mainly for the Halo 5 client community, a lot of people in the Commonwealth have been calling Vast, or just you, pretty much unprofessional, while they're kind of praising the Commonwealth for being more professional. So people such as like Prav and mainly JB and in itself pretty much calling you unprofessional and whatnot. What do you have to say to that?
So, when it comes to unprofessionality, I feel like clans should definitely be more professional than joking around. But I feel like they criticize and they Nazi so many things, and they criticize me for the smallest of things. Like, for one thing, saying curse words. They think that that is unprofessional in every single instance and scenario. So I mean, it's really just what you view as professional. I mean, it's pretty funny that Commonwealth comes into the community and preaches about professionalism and preaching about all this kind of stuff, yet they go back on their words so much. And in fact, I have video recording of this too, if anyone would like to see this. The other day, I think that this was on June 6th. Yes, it was on June 6th, Monday, June 6th. I was invited to a party with Preventer, who is one of the people who can host raids with the Commonwealth, and just about 7 other Commonwealth members. Most of these Commonwealth members were military police. And if you know anything about clans, military police are supposed to enforce discipline in the clan. They are the role models of discipline. They are the ones that are going to be making sure that the clan's disciplined. Yet, I joined the party, and all I hear is 7 British dudes start shit-talking me, yelling, shoving down their mic, down their throat, in the middle of, like, while Preventer is watching them, and just shit-talking, complete shit-talking. And then, they're like, hey, Vast, nudge, nudge, you should come join our game and quote-unquote, surprise raid us. And then Preventer is edging them on. Like, he's completely fine with this. He's not doing anything to stop this. He's actually agreeing with them. He's on the map with them. And you want to know what the fucking map was? It was Unicom Lego base. That's right. I said a Lego fucking fortress. It was a Lego fortress, right? Where they took Lego blocks, but made them large. They enlarged them and created a raid base out of it with a super long bridge with no cover. Literally, the only cover on there was like a little dice thing that you could shoot off with a rocket launcher. And the Commonwealth, this is military police, and one of their officers who's in charge of scheduling raids, attempted to get me to join that. Which not only is unprofessional because they're completely disregarding what I'm saying, because like at this time I can't even talk because they're all just shouting down their mic and saying all these stupid insults, and like, one of them's over in the corner like, suck dude. So it's like all these stupid ass remarks and so many unprofessional players, yet these guys are the military police of Commonwealth. Like, that just speaks a lot about how the Commonwealth actually operates, and the fact that they were trying to get Vast to raid them on a Lego map, which is ironic considering Commonwealth is an area system-based clan, so why would they be trying to get us to raid them if Shadow Sniper and the main high command only accepts areas? So, I mean, really, if they want to pull the unprofessional card, they're definitely just as unprofessional as Vast is, but Vast really, I'd even be willing to say that we are more professional when it comes to dealing with foreign affairs when like this. Of course, there's some things that we're not necessarily 100% professional on, which I don't think any clan is 100% professional, and I don't think it ever should be like this, but when it comes to professionality, I think it should be most of the time, which I'd say Vast is more professional most of the time.
All right, so right now, there has been a total of 6 battles, I believe, right?
Correct.
Right now, Shadow is declaring that the war is at 4-0, so 2 battles were disregarded. Obviously, my stupidity attempt to attack, and a battle that was performed earlier this day before this interview. Now, one thing that it's kind of just been just been getting to my...
So do you want me to run through all of them? Like, yeah, all the battles?
Just quickly.
Okay. So I'll go through all the battles. The first one was the scheduled one, the day or the Sunday after they declared war, which was the 15th, and we attacked them on Area 05. You can see the. I think I posted the entire full area system on the Vast channel if you want to check that out. But we destroyed all objectives. Vast victory. The second raid that we did was the one that Dividable and 2 other Vast members joined the game, and then they left. So it was 1-1. The third one was a Panther facility, where Commando Priest and Preventer, who are both officers of Commonwealth, were on a Panther facility, and we raided them, killed them, and blocked up the spawns, and then they ended the game, which was the second Vast victory, so that's 2-1. The next one was a surprise area on the Commonwealth, where the Commonwealth was on Area 03. You can see the entire highlights on my channel, or on the Vast channel, where we surprise areaed them, we destroyed all objectives, and we won. So that's 3-1. The next one was on Fort Apocalypse. It was a defensive raid for Vast. Vast won after defending it for 2 hours and 30 minutes. That's the fourth one, so now it's 4-1. And then today, Commonwealth surprise raided one of our maps while we were showing it to one of our members. They took over the base, and then they left. So we won, even though they did take over the base, but they left, and it was a surprise raid, so it was 5-1. But I talked today with Shadow Sniper, and we decided to completely disregard the raid today, and the raid where Dividable joined with 3 people. So that way, instead of it being 5-1 in Vast favor, it would only be 4-0, which is really the same thing. It's just,
All right.
less wins for both sides.
So for this last raid that just happened, since a lot of stuff happened in the kick chat, one thing that they were saying was pretty much, at this point, we were declaring that it was a Vast win, while the Commonwealth was declaring that it was a Commonwealth win. I believe it was, I think it might have been Vash, I don't know, who pretty much said that there was an agreed upon ROE for surprise raids, even though you've confirmed that there was not one at all, really?
Yeah, correct. During the ROE meeting, which I've recorded everything, by the way, the entire meeting, all of them, we never agreed to a surprise raid ROE, and in fact, at the time of the raid, the ROE for raids was even under, it wasn't even agreed upon yet. It was still under confirmation from both sides, since we were making amendments. They tried to use the raid rules that were under agreement still. They weren't completely 100% finished, because like I said earlier in the ROE, how we weren't able to finalize the raid rules for actual raids and surprise raids and such, and for areas they had to send it to the high command. So I never got word from high command from TCW confirming or making amendments until after this raid. So really, there's no way that they could have called an ROE breach, because it was never confirmed. They never sent it back to me to accept the amendments or to change other things about it, So it wasn't 100% confirmed. So there's no way that they could have pulled ROE, which was originally what they were trying to do. And they also tried to pull the fact that one of our private first class, newly promoted enlisted, said that they would have won if the ROE said it. They took that as Vast said that we won so we can back out, which was not true at all. He said according to the ROE. He never said that they actually won. He just said according to the ROE, which, by the way, he didn't even know this. The enlisted member didn't even notice, but the ROE was not confirmed. It was not official. It was not agreed upon. So that was the whole issue with this raid, but it was sorted out, and Shadow and I both agree that the war is currently 4-0, 4 wins for Vast and 0 wins for Commonwealth.
All right, so are there any third parties in this war currently?
So at the beginning of the war, I made it incredibly clear to the Commonwealth that Vast was not going to be using any third parties. In fact, foreign affairs wise, Vast does not have any allies, any current pacts, any agreements, any coalitions. We are completely just solo. We started up the clan. We were focusing ourselves. We weren't even planning to get involved into foreign affairs. Not even really up until July. Honestly, we were just focused on ourselves, trying to build leadership, trying to build the clan. And we said we're not getting any third parties involved. And we both agreed that we're not going to be getting any third parties. As of recently, Shadow Sniper himself and General JB have been going around to clans asking them to assist them in the war. In fact, as we speak right now, there is currently a group of clans that I will not release at this current time that are forming a coalition with the help of Shadow Sniper that will be entering the war soon. And this is pretty much breaking news since I'm revealing this even to you, Dividable, right now. But the Commonwealth is creating, once again, a coalition of clans to take down Vast. What will Vast do to respond? I'm not really sure if we are going to create a coalition in response. We might not even worry about doing that. We might even just take whatever clans they decide to throw at us and use them as some more, fucking shooting targets. Because honestly, whatever it takes to get more battles, I'm completely fine with. But it's just pathetic that Commonwealth is clearly so desperate and so pathetic and so unorganized and so, they're starting to crumble that they need to rely on allies and third-party clans to support them. Now, earlier on Fort Apocalypse, Vast, they were criticizing us for using third parties, when in reality, it was just a different emblem for a different division. At the time, Vast did have a navy. We had an army, so we used the navy emblem for the navy, the army emblem for the army. So they thought there was a third party because they were using the navy emblem, but no, those were part of our clan. And recently, just to let everyone know, we merged the navy into the National Guard, and we're using the same emblem right now. But so that way there won't be any confusion in the future with that. Another thing is that at the first raid, Area 05, Commonwealth thought we were using paid mercenaries. That's right. Commonwealth thought that Vast was using paid mercenaries because we had people that were so good with the fucking AR, which is honestly pathetic. They thought that GSS, Warlock, and Hype Bunny, who were three people that were in the first raid, they thought that they were paying them, that we were paying them because they're competitive players to come play for us, which is not true at all. They're currently enlisted in our clans. GSS is a E2, Hype Bunny's an E2, and Warlock's an E2. They've been in the clan for a couple months now, almost since it started up. So it's definitely false that we do not use any mercenaries. No mercenary tolerance, because really in Vast we're more for honor than victory. We're not going to like there was some controversy with Plague about how we did pull in Maki for like 1-8v8, but we're not going to be in Vast. We're not going to be using any paid mercenaries, which we never did in Plague either. But we're not going to be using mercenaries of any kind or a third party to help us in this war, unless this coalition actually is true, in which we might consider bringing other clans involved, but it's very unlikely. But that's what it is going to be right now with that third party whole situation. I just think it's pathetic that they're trying to look for other clans, and most of which you have denied. But anyways.
All right. Is there a final saying you would like to say to kind of end off this interview? Something that you want to say to the Commonwealth?
2 words. Fight us.
All right. Well, that is it for this mini interview, or I guess it's almost an hour long, but that is it for this interview on pretty much the Commonwealth versus the Vast War. Now, I'd be more than happy to I'd be more than happy to have Shadow on this interview as well. So if you're watching this, anyone that's part of the Commonwealth, convince your leader to come on this interview and we could talk about other stuff.
Maybe even a debate. I'm more than down to that.
Yeah, we could possibly set up a debate between Vast, Contagion, and Shadow Sniper. But one thing that I just really want to say, and this is where I'm kind of going to give off my opinion, is I honestly thought that the area system was going to be something fun, something that was going to be pretty interesting. I'm actually all game for the area system. It looks very interesting since pretty much the clan community has had nothing really new for a long, long time. And seeing that the Commonwealth has many prominent figures within the community, many veterans, I thought this would be a great war. And quite frankly, I'm kind of just disappointed as a whole, but hopefully things could turn around. Like I want this kind of be a fun war, something that I could enjoy being part of, not like the UAE versus the, or what is it, the Axis powers versus the UCA, where it just went crazy. But yeah, that is it for this interview. If you guys enjoyed, comment down below, and we'd be more than happy to have Shadow on this interview for his side of the story. But yeah, my name is DividableHalo, and I'll talk to you guys all later. Bye.
I was told apparently the reason why they declared war was because apparently you started talking rubbish or something, I don't know. Started talking shit about Shadow or something like that. That's all I know.
We're not.
The rest of them, Mike, is all fucking pussies, mate. But, you know, who knows? Because most of them already actually, yeah, won't go into that. A lot of European players in our clan, to be honest. Pretty much all the commandos are. But the commandos are shit, so... No, Shadow Sniper isn't coming back to the end of the summer, and JB hasn't even got an Xbox. So. Nope. Not unless the war extends to the end of the summer. Start. It's just that they've only just asked me to join in the war because they figured they could take it themselves, but they figured, oh shit, actually no, Ironside taking care of it.